Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today. The weather is a bit cold outside, so we have moved in our little studio space in front of the garden. We hope you can still enjoy a bit the nice garden from the windows. And we have with us today the amazing Amaya Samper joining us.
Yay.
So,
hello. Should I say hello?
Yes, please. Tell us
Good
about
morning.
yourself.
Should I just like...
do whatever you want.
Oh my God.
This is your stage, Amaya.
Oh my God, guys.
Well, we've invited you because we think you're an interesting character and you're an artist, so we're interested, like, how you are dealing with everything now.
Whoa.
Yeah, what you were thinking, what you were maybe hoping for the future, how you think this can affect us, you, the world, humanity. Yeah, or whatever, whatever.
All the big questions right away.
Sorry.
But maybe we can introduce a bit Amaya for people who don't know her.
Oh, okay.
Like me.
I had the pleasure to meet Amaya. She was an exchange here from Spain on the third year in Minerva. And we were classmates, and also we worked in a collective for a bit together in Play Mobility with... it was really nice. And then you left, you went back to Spain to graduate, and now you're back for how long?
Forever.
Forever.
I came to stay forever.
Yeah, nice decision. Nice you came back.
Yeah, I need a bit of study.
How did you decide to come back? Because I remember you kind of really wanted to go to Spain for a while.
Yeah, but then when I went to Spain, I was missing Groningen. I really missed it. I had dreams and stuff. Really, really wanted to go back. So I came.
Yeah, Groningen is a magic place, I think.
Yeah.
Why do you like Groningen so much?
I don't know. I think it feels like it's not real. And I like that. In a way. It's like Groningen is too perfect. You know? And also like the places where I come from, they're in flames now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like I often feel like if I was in a movie or something.
Okay.
Like spirited away vibes. And
Ah,
also everyone is super near.
yeah.
So I really like now with Corona I cannot do it anymore, but I really like to just go to a place and see what I would find.
Yeah.
I really like.
Okay. So you know Madrid and Santiago, so two big cities, and really with problematic situations at the moment. Yeah, and here we are in safe, small, protected, hopefully.
It's not that I want to stay forever, but I do want to stay for a really long time because I need some stability actually in the life. I was going too much from here to there for a lot of years, not having a home and feeling like a little bit nomad or something.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because you look at everything like, wow, but at some point I need to, I come here to develop as an artist.
Yeah.
What do I have to do?
Yeah.
So, this one.
Nice.
And towards the question that you said before, how is Corona going? Everywhere. It's everywhere. I think I've been through all the phases. I lost the ups at some point. I even had I started believing in God at some point and having situations with that. And then also completely bad and realizations, tried everything as well. As I told you before, all the possible jobs in the world, trying them and also with the situation in Chile that touches me very much because I was there with my people doing it and now I'm back.
Do you want to say a bit more about the situation?
How is it?
In Chile? Yes.
Oh, yeah. So basically, long story short, what happened was that people there live with 300 budget, but the prices are Holland prices. So it's 300 budget for Holland, but also people live in families, not like myself.
Yeah.
So everything is super expensive, and it's like this, like the cradle of neoliberalism, because they want to be like the United States.
Yeah.
The United States are like the maximum reference.
Mm.
So
The American dream.
yeah, and it's right next. So everyone looks above, like, whoa, I want to be like you. And then at some point they rose the price of the subway ticket a little bit, 30 cents. And then everyone went like, no, I cannot take this anymore.
Wow.
The school was privatized, the
Yeah.
health was privatized,
Yeah.
the houses were expensive, it was too much. People are dying. My friends live in like houses made out of like planks of wood. But my friends, so like it's like something super next to you that means that also like a lot more is happening behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people started protesting, and then militaries go outside. And then they start machine guns, cocaine, pointing at the eye, torture, rape, people disappearing, putting everyone in the supermarket and burning the supermarket so the bodies are not there, everything like this. Chilean people have nothing to lose because they've been unexistent, they've been invisible all their lives. So they don't even want to fix anything, they want to burn everything down.
Yeah.
Let's burn everything. So that's the vibe. So everyone is going out, and everyone is also, a lot of people are missing the eye, and they're still going. My friend has a lot of, like 3 or 4 bullets in his leg, and he still goes first line.
There's no way back, right?
No.
Like from the...
But there is also a lot of surrealism. Like the way they carry the protest is like there's these otaku people that dressed up as anime characters, like Zelda vibes,
Oh yeah.
and they go in the first line with shields of the anime situations. And these are the first lines. Everyone is hooded from here to the back. In the end is families. Second, third is Red Cross volunteers, also dressed up as anime characters. And then in the back, all the people that are protesting. So it's like...
Wow, that sounds really surreal.
Super surreal.
Yeah.
And everything is happening at the same time, like a film. It feels like...
And you've been, like you mentioned, you've been in this protest also yourself, right?
Yeah, I just came back. I was like this. All the time. But also, since it's politicized, like polarized also, even to be impressed is considered as a class privilege. So you gotta be super careful.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I read there's just one line or there's one street that divides Santiago between people that have money and the hills and then people that have nothing and down of the hills.
Yeah, it's completely
Yeah, like 2 separate worlds there. Yeah, maybe that's, or for me when I came to Holland, that was the biggest thing that hit me when I came here. It was big middle class. And I came here 20 years ago, so it was even different. 20 years ago it was a much bigger middle class than now. But even having seen other European countries, this country has, a big middle class. You know, most people here are, a lot of people are okay, you know, and you have a little bit of extra money to do something nice in the weekend, you know.
Yeah.
And you feel that when you come to live here, like that people are okay, you know.
It's a big contrast with the rest, like, I mean, talking about Greece or Spain, like, there is no middle class. Like,
everyone is poor.
Yes, and even in these countries, even what you consider rich in these countries, like if someone who is rich in Greece comes to Netherlands, people will be like, you live with 800 euros a month, that's like what you consider to be a Greek rich person. So even what there is considered to be rich, here will be like middle class in the best case. So,
Yeah, for us in the Netherlands, everyone is rich. Like really rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about, can you say something about your practice? Like I checked you out on Insta, so I know that you are very talented with your guitar and you have a lovely voice. And I've seen drawings of you.
Oh, about the art part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What what is for you the best medium to communicate?
I cannot respond. Well, this is connected to Corona actually. I'm just gonna connect a little bit back. After Chile, for me, everything started to be relative, unquestionable. And this has been a super big problem that I'm trying to work on, because I cannot do anything. Like and I'm doing everything at the same time. Like everywhere, what do I have to do? Do I have to paint? I will paint. Do I have to do a video, and performance, and documentary, and this and that, and everything. And at the same time, meanwhile, I am doing it, I'm thinking, but also this, you know? So
Yes.
it's a big problem. Starting to have issues with decisions. So also like for art, it's super difficult because I stopped having a particular medium, and I started now we're doing like everything: a comic, a painting, a documentary, a song, and at the same time like also questioning like, well, the talent as well, like how much of this is talent, how much of this is hard work, how important is it.
Is it between the mediums that you're using? Is it like the same thing that you're trying to deal with, or is it also different like subject matter in the different mediums?
I think it's all. I think it's everything. It depends. For example, I'm making a documentary about Chile, and in this I'm trying to be super realist, but also like my feelings go there.
Yes. Yes.
But at the same time, in the isolation period, because right now we're not really that much isolated.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, yes, I started to make a comic about being alone, about loneliness, and it's like a Teletubby that is in the desert, and the desert is completely empty, and also filled with stuff, but like no people. And it's about this huge Teletubby walking, and that, for instance, is not realist, or it doesn't have, but it has maybe feelings, or it has. I wanted to make.
But it does deal still with your reality, like maybe in a non-realistic way. But I think it still has to do about things you experience. Like one hand, you're home, now your isolation. Like I mean, it's all kind of close to you.
It's true. Actually, I don't know. Also, because at the same time, and this is the questioning problem again, you can say, yeah, it's about my life, but at the same time I say, I don't need to talk about my life all the time. So I'm actually talking about something else. This guy, which is not me, is this guy. And that's also true. You know, it's like, for me everything is true. Like even if I'm talking about me, or if I'm talking about this Teletubby, is both of them are true. And maybe it's also about loneliness. But maybe it's also just because my friend Nona gave me some markers, and I just wanted to try the markers.
It's animation.
It's drawing.
Yeah, the Teletubby.
Yeah, with markers from the action, that one that she gave me. So yeah, that's what I mean. That is everything. I mean, a lot of things like this.
Is it okay for you, or do you feel like thinly spread, like too much, or can you deal with it?
No, I feel like I'm gonna jump out of the window sometimes. A lot of times I find myself in my room. It's very small, so just like, what do I do? What do I do? And also lately, my life is like constantly taking like completely 180 degrees.
180s. Yeah.
So also again like, okay, now this is happening. Now you lose your job, and now this, and now you have to do this, and now you have to do that, and I'm like this, and I say, okay, nothing makes sense. It's okay. What do I have to do? So a lot of times I would find myself screaming to Krishna, like, Krishna, what do I have to do? I don't even believe too much in Krishna, but my friend Alexandra really does. I say, okay, Krishna, what do I have to do? Whatever. Okay, no answer. But one day, actually, one day I was thinking like about feminine energy or something. I don't know why. I was thinking of it, but I realized I didn't have too much in my life. Okay. And then suddenly I have like a message from Sophia, the girl that came last time.
She's watching.
She's watching.
Hi,
Sophia.
I have a message from Sophia and she's like, Amaya, I dream with your stuff, and I'm like, who are you? And then she tells me, yeah, I dream with your drawings, with the Teletudo, things like that. I have them as well. I do Venus Warriors, she tells me. She shows me and I'm like, what is going on? Okay, I meet her because I go to deliver for her from superfoods. Wow. It's super immersive experience, just opening the door. Okay. And then what starts happening is that I start to see God in people, and I'm like, okay, like, stop. Everything is possible. Also, God, okay, let's see God. So in this period, I'm really desperate. I don't know what to do. I feel like everything is constantly changing. Whatever. But every time that I talk to a friend, the friend tells me the same, but like different words.
Yeah.
You have it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's what I'm realizing, that it's not only myself, but a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, like what you were saying about 120, 80,
180.
like 180, like Lisa was talking about exactly the same thing a week ago, like about her work and her performance, and we had this discussion again, so to me, like, it's almost
But
surreal.
for me, it's like normal that you call it a 180, just because I always call this mood change, like, you know, where you can go from feeling really good and on top of everything to like lost and helpless.
And it's weird because I haven't heard that term. Like,
Yeah, so
I know I
nice
hear it like.
But then I would like to relate it to God because I think I've told you, but you've got this woman, a Dutch woman called Etty Hillesum, and she wrote a book or more books like Anne Frank, but she was older at the time. She was Jewish. She went to the camps. I think she died in the camps, and so you can read what she wrote. And one time she wrote, "We cannot ask now for God to help us. Right now, we have to help God." So I think that's the ultimate 180, you know, like that we realise that God is in us, you know, that we are now the power to help God, if there, you know, whatever, but if there is a God, yeah, like, but then it's also taking your own power back, you know, like you're not this helpless little, oh, help me God, you know, you there's something in you that can inspire others, that can look after yourself, you know, like you are in charge of you, so if you can look after yourself and take charge of yourself as best you can, that can bring like the God in you to others. And I think, yeah.
But I think it also comes from the belief, because like the belief starts from you, so it doesn't have to be towards the God necessarily, but this power of believing into something or having something to put your mind to, your focus comes from you and not the other way around.
Yeah.
So if you decide there's something there that I can focus to and actually can give me energy, or the other way around, then you're the one making the decision. You're already in a position of power. Like to me, it also feels that way, that it's like this decision that you have to make to
I'm just wondering if it could be like what I'm saying could be like a convenient thing for me to believe because I want to have some hope.
Yes.
Okay, then we can 180 back to sort of some disappointments.
I think it relates a lot.
Yeah.
Also, I will tell you the story and you will be like, exactly.
Okay.
Because what you are telling me right now is like, exactly. And it just confirms. I'm constantly having the confirmation. I can't believe it, and I think it's surrealism. I don't know. But it just comes, suddenly you're talking about this.
Yeah.
You too, and you both had it just last week.
Yeah.
So it definitely like constantly confirms that something's happening.
Yeah.
And it's not only Corona, I don't think so.
No.
I think something else.
But I think maybe Corona has given us a little push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe some space also, like this slowing down and like taking the time to think or question even yourself. Because I mean, I remember that I know you from before, for example, from like you were always, I guess, like, trying a lot of different things. Like when I met, like you were doing performance and you were singing and you were drawing. And I guess like now you're talking about questioning, but is this a new thing that happens now that you have the time and the...
I think it happened when I went to Chile.
Hmm.
I think that was I go to Chile and then my mind is different. And I'm not coming back. You know, it feels, it's not like I decided.
Okay.
It feels like it's never coming back because what I saw there was David Lynch movie or something. But it's happening. And it's reality. And then like, also like, I was coming from Holland because I moved to Enschede for a while, and I had people telling me what life was. Life is this, life is that. A lot of people say, what is life? And since I'm very liberal, I go, well, okay, life is this, or chill, okay. But then I go to Chile and I realize that in 1 square meter, there can be like 30 realities, and I say, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
I also have no idea.
Yeah.
But someone from Holland that lives in Holland, feeling entitled to say what life means,
Yeah.
is like, man, who are you? But that's okay. Also, like, I feel like I don't have, like, I cannot just go to you and say, you don't know anything about life. Also, it's not my business.
Yeah.
But definitely, I said that I'm not going to listen to you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the way. So I think it changed from Chile to now, and now it's like too much questioning, maybe in the point that is a bit harmful. But what happened with this whole situation, and I think it relates to what you guys were saying before, is that when I was not even searching for him, I never even cared too much about that one. But it just started coming by itself. And I was like, bueno, okay. Every time that I would talk to a friend, I would feel like they're channeling or something. Like at some point they're telling something, and it's not there. It's someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
you mean like you forget who it is? Like you sort of forgot who the person is. Like I don't know the name, I don't know what place we're in, but I know I have it with people that I trust. I know that this is my friend and I'm safe with this person. So I forget the name, I forget
But
the
you also mean like
details.
this is a message to what they say that kind of makes sense to you?
Also,
Yes.
yeah, it's not like it's your friend, it's like, so I recognize you. For instance, I'm talking to you, you're Lisa, and you're telling me something, but at some point, your eyes do something weird, and then you start saying something very particular, like, whatever. The other day, Angelos told me, Amaya, I am everything I need. And he says this, and his eyes do something, and I'm like, you are not Angelos. Who are you? Who is talking through you?
Yeah.
But yeah, even that is questionable because I immediately talked to Tommy, my friend from Chile, and he's like, yeah, but that's super individualist. And I say, yeah, also.
Or it's beyond individual.
Yes.
Maybe it's,
Exactly.
maybe it's beyond. It can be even that.
Like when you can let go of your ego.
Yeah.
And I think like a situation that we find ourselves in, and I'm sure Chile, which was super full on, where you realise how much you have to lose, and it helps you give that kick to what's not necessary and what's not real and what's not true.
I actually like that. It's a super nice way to see it. Because it stops demonizing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes further than you were, like
Yeah.
in a situation like this that's now affecting the whole world, yeah, it makes us really aware of how little we are and how, I'm not going to say meaningless because I don't think we're meaningless, but just like, yeah.
But at the same time, like, of course, I understand how you mean, how little we are, but also maybe it has to do that we're bigger as a collective. Also, like this connection you start feeling with other people, even like, but you take the time to take this connection and then really listen to what people say.
Yeah.
Because, like, for me, it's when I used to have all these stimulations and meet a lot of people, and it all kind of becomes mechanical, just like, yeah, you talk with Amaya, and then you have to talk to her, and then go next and talk to Lisa, and talk to the guy at the supermarket, and talk. So then, like, kind of words become pointless to a point. And then when you take the time, I think, for a person and really focus to what it says, I can relate to what Amaya says. Like, sometimes I will feel somehow, and I will see you in the morning, and you will say something. It might be because I am, like, processing this specific issue, and what you say feels like fits, or it can be like, that I do take the time to listen and bring something with me, like, after. So I think, like, of course we're small, but at the same time I feel again like there is time for connection in a way, like that we mirror ourselves to others at this point, because we need this connection, we're searching for it, which otherwise before we were a bit like, okay, I get so much stimulation, so much connection that I almost like, don't need it anymore. Don't search for it, a meaning, or for like something to touch me. So
yeah, like before it was sort of grey, and now we have like black and white.
Yes. I think like we're kind of searching for this connection, and then we really pay attention to what a person can give us. Like when we're feeling like it's a bit of a mirror still, of course. Like it's you keep what you need at that moment, but I think like you find it in places that normally you wouldn't before Corona times, because you had too much of this stimulation or meeting people or exchanging opinions, and then it's like.
And that is super important. Every time you meet somebody.
Yeah, that you want to hear them because maybe they need it, and you want to be heard because you need it. Something like that. And I think like there's so many things, like, and now that Holland's like today sort of, schools are open, the libraries are open, and more people are maybe
back to
yes, the primary schools have opened this week, so some kids are back today.
Wow.
So it's changing. So like I notice in me a resistance to go back, and I think like my life, like as artist, I do have a lot of say as to how I will go back or live my life. So
you're a teacher?
No, I do teach sometimes. Yeah.
To children?
No, at the front wall.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Writing.
Next level.
But I'm curious, like let's say things. Well, that's the thing. It's not. It's never going to be like it was. But what would you like to take with you from now? Like, how will you be different?
Oh, I don't know how to answer.
Cool.
I think it started with the God situation, and I'm taking it seriously because I think I found some situation. After God started challenging my friends and telling me stuff, I talked to my mom. She told me that this was completely normal, and I was like, okay, wow. Even astrology vibes, I was even thinking, maybe the signs, the zodiac signs. What zodiac sign are you? What is your rising sign? What is your moon? What is your Mars? Okay, and it feels like something is here. And then one day, okay, femininity is in the air, self-love is in the air, but I'm not really sure about that, because like, what is self-love, and how harmful it can be, and also are we me, or are we me with you, I was thinking this, and then one day, I had to say something to a friend that we don't see too much anymore, and we are trying to break up this friendship like in the best way. Comes to my house, we're sitting there. I'm a little bit hurt by some stuff, so I start saying, all right, so this and this and this and this you didn't like. I'm already surprised. I would say that. Okay, let's continue. This and this I didn't like, and I think this is what happens to you. Like I think this is what, because he couldn't make decisions. I think your decision is to come from this place, and then start saying stuff that I didn't know, that I didn't even think of. It was from here. And I feel in my legs like, and I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? I felt the ghosts in my room before a lot of times, but this was like an ultimate ghost or something, really huge, really wise and feminine. And I said, what is this? Okay, I say everything. I'm still surprised. He takes it, then he leaves. It's like 4 a.m. and I'm laying in the floor. I'm laying in the carpet and I'm looking at my room, and I don't feel pain. And that is weird, because I was really supposed to feel pain after this conversation. No pain. And the first thing I think of is not about him, it's about the girlfriend of my father, and about her life, but as a woman. And I'm thinking, why am I thinking this? And then a lot of women start to come up. Samantha, Claudia, Sofia, you two, a lot of women. I'm like, why? And then I see a huge bubble, and this I really saw it. I was completely saw it. Orange bubble, orange golden, in the entire of my room, and it starts going low, and it starts higher. And I'm like this. Is this happening or not? Yeah, it's happening. Okay. I go to sleep after this situation. Text Sofia. Yo, Sofia, I saw this. Do you recognize it? And she's like, oh, it's orange with gold? And I'm like, how do you know that? Yeah, I was dancing with the bubble 2 weeks ago. It's hunting your building. It's been there for a while. I'm like, what?
Wow.
And then she's like, yeah, well, the more people I tell them, and they don't know the bubble, but they kind of feel, it feels like they kind of know what I'm talking about. I go to Claudia, for instance, and she tells me something about that black energy in her room, and we start to think that it might be her grandmother, woman. And more stuff, more elements, I talk to more people, and more people start to tell me this, and I'm starting to think, alright, maybe it's too binary to say that force is a woman. I felt it like this, probably because it was through my filter. And then I talked to Samantha, and she kind of says that she thinks it's myself. Like she thinks that thing that I saw was growth, like self-growth.
Oh, wow.
And this is how it's incredible. And it's how I go back to what you guys were saying about God being on top, and now we having to help God. So like in the end, that manifestation being actually ourselves instead of someone above that we ask.
All powerful, yeah.
Yes.
It's giving us back power.
Okay. And it's gone. It left. It was there for a moment. These days it's gone, but I'm searching for it again. But things changed after that, and that's asking to your question. The how do I think it's gonna come back? Or it's gonna be now? And now I still think everything's really relative, so I really don't know. I am sure that I will still feel a lot of pain and a lot of indecision, but there is also something like now I know that there's an orange golden bubble, and I saw it and I'm really sure about it.
And what feeling did it give you?
I didn't have pain anymore. It was
like ease, like that you could relax, or
yeah, it's definitely peaceful vibe. And also something strange that when the boy, and the fact that he's always important, when he left the room, there was one clear thing. I didn't say it, but it came from there. It was like with words. He looked at the door, closed door after he left, and that voice says, "Poor boy." And I'm like, yo, what do you mean? What do you mean?
why?
Why not? Also, why is it separative? Like, why is it making separation? Shouldn't it be universal? What does it mean? It's not that I think poor boy, but this thing you stole me. So it is peaceful, but in a way.
And like, is this a very new experience for you, or like, I mean, have you changed the way you like are open to these things? Because you said like when you started, you said, "Oh, I'm not so religious," or "I wasn't." Like before you weren't so open to this. Like maybe something outside me, or something bigger, or something. It was something you.
I didn't even think of it. It's not that I was anti. It wasn't at my mind. But Sofia gave me a crystal. And my approach to crystals all my life was memes or something. Making fun of them. And all these pictures, white girls with dreadlocks and things like this. With a lot of crystals. But actually that approach, yeah, it was from the unknown, because I didn't even know about it. And she gives it to me and I'm like, wow. I have a crystal. Should I make fun of this or should I use it? She said, I was desperate, I used it. And it really changed something. Maybe it's also placebo.
It's interesting to say that, because I recognize a lot like this kind of revisiting things in your life. Like, for example, I'm growing up in a like very religious community, but also like this kind of religious. So like things are very, oh, this is the one way to approach God. This is the one way to act, with rules. My first reaction, of course, was to turn like 180 and be like, no, like I dismiss all this, or make fun, as you say, of a lot of things, like, I don't know, astrology, crystals, like there are many things that you can, depends in what context you learn about them, really make fun of. And then I think when you proceed in your life, if you're very open to these things, you kind of revisit a lot of them again, like, hey, okay, maybe religion is not what they told me to be, but what can it be, like, or what can, I don't know, like what can energy be if it's not exactly what they told me it was. So I think like, and it is part of what you call growth, or I say it like that you're able to not be so black and white about everything, but also be able to find what it means for you, like what does a crystal might mean for me, or like it's not the same for everyone. Maybe a crystal doesn't do anything to me, but I think like, it's like this ability to just be able to look things again and revisit them and see like what can they mean for me right now, which I really recognize this kind of feeling.
And it's also humble from your side to do it, because you stop assuming.
Yes, and it's difficult, right?
Yeah, or stop taking a position, like the least judgment.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is difficult also, like to it's like we have this notion that we always have to have an answer, like about our position on things. And
I really like. I think that's related to not having an answer. But what you said, like that we like to know, we like to think that we like to know what we're doing, and this is the rule. Like a book or a religion or whatever. Like, and you were talking to this friend, and you didn't know what you were going to say, and you said it felt like it just came into you. That really feels for me also like super relevant about this moment, like, and this is partly why we're doing now what we're doing, like this performativity of like trusting yourself that you will know what to do at the moment that you need to do something, without having a script, without having a plan, without having worked hours on making something perfect, but to go somewhere do something and know it's going to be okay.
Yes.
And like trust a connection or trust yourself or God or what you want to call it, but know that you will have the answers when you need them. And I think that this is something that's happening for more people now, and this is possibly what we need, like as reaction to the world we were living in. You know, this world where everything was written down and everything was structured and organized, and you had to prove everything you were doing one way or another. And that was to the cost of life, that was to the cost of a sincere transaction, a sincere meeting. This other layer, which is actually secondary, was becoming primary. So what you're talking about, I think, is primary life experience, which now we start returning to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because what else can be our compass, you know? I can read all the books in the world, I can follow a religion, I can follow this person or that person, but at the end of the day, you need to know with yourself, and maybe this is what this period of loneliness can bring us, you need to know that you're using your compass, because more than that, you don't have. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Complete.
And I think that's kind of intuitive to us, like the moment we're born. And then, like I was reading the other day, maybe it's not exactly the same, but it's very relevant about food, for example, that our bodies know when we're born how much to eat, what kind of food to eat. And then, like, you know, a lot of times we go into this position of
Someone's calling.
As a mother, for example, you start forcing your kids to eat a specific food or to act like in a certain way towards the body, so they unlearn their natural way of reacting, and they just fall into this, like, this is how it's supposed to be, this is what I need to eat, and they forget that their body already knows. So I think like it's kind
or
of
that at any
related
moment
to,
you can stop and ask your body.
yes, are you thirsty, are you
Yeah.
hungry, are you like, you want to say something kind of situation, yes. So
It's true. But I actually would like it. But because I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know? Because I don't even know when do I want to.
I mean, it's very hard, right?
But in this crisis, like I've sort of been more aware of those things. Like I don't eat. It's not like 1 o'clock I should eat lunch. No, if I'm hungry, I stop for a snack, you know, or I will cook something or whatever. But for me, it's been really nice to be outside these structures that normally would determine what your day looks like, what time you do things, you know. So to just wake up when you want to wake up because you've had enough sleep, exercise when you feel like your body needs some movement, drink when you're thirsty, and eat what you feel like eating when you feel like eating. It's like sort of relearning to navigate, but then with the primary body, your own, you know, and not rules from outside, or not structures or assumptions or
but I think it's quite hard, right? To trust again yourself in anything, like from speaking, thinking, eating, acting, even sleeping. Like sometimes I'm not tired and I'm like, no, but I need to sleep because I don't know, like because I have to wake up, I have to, you know, like and
that's also like really like interesting. Like, where does this idea of discipline come from? You know, like are we disciplining ourselves for our
finally
own
enough
good?
from religion, but I guess.
Yeah, but a should, but a should can be from a good place, you know, like.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so that's also at this moment funny to see, like, what are your motivations for doing anything when you do them? Like, why am I doing this? Because I feel like I should, or because I want to, you know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because also it feels like when you go to a store and there is a lot of t-shirts, it's the same model but 100 colors. You go crazy. It's not like it's blue and yellow either blue, either yellow. Now you
Yes.
have 100.
Yeah.
So you're gonna spend 3 hours or more in that store, and maybe you're gonna leave with no t-shirt. You know?
Yes.
Because like, I don't know, I didn't even know this color. I don't know
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You
So
know?
many colours.
Many
Yeah,
options. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe it's also why I would like to maybe do a master's or do a study, just to find like mental peace or something. Like, okay, just let's do it.
One thing. Like,
Yeah, just
Yeah,
one thing
yeah.
that is stable in our lives.
yeah,
Just one.
yeah,
Because everything is completely questionable right
yeah,
now. Even sleeping.
yeah,
Even being happy. Like, should I be happy?
yeah,
This, my friend.
Mhm.
And this can also cause a lot of loneliness because, like, you know that you have all the possibilities in the world, and even if you go to the supermarket A or you go to supermarket B, in the end you're gonna come home. And it's gonna be the same. You know? That's the big problem. And that's also what I am seeking. Like, just give me one thing.
Yeah.
Because all the things that were stable before in my life, all of them are gone
yeah,
at the same time. Everything. Emotional, physical, money, path,
Mhm.
place, everything. So now it's like, whatever. I don't know. And for me that is not peace yet. I think
yeah.
like there should maybe I'm seeking for it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is this also like that you would like more simplicity?
No, I want the other one.
Okay. You want 100 colours?
Having too many options is also like no options sometimes. It feels
Yeah.
like too much freedom can feel overwhelming too.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
can understand it.
And it feels you can be whoever you want. And then it kind of fills you with loneliness in a way. Because it's like, for instance, the porn situation. I say, alright, I'm gonna make porn. And I'm gonna do this camera and I do one show. And I do everything that I need to do. I perform, alright. I did it. Amazing. Weird experience. A lot of weird comments. Okay, I close it. What do I think? I'm still in my room. So I will be a porn star or I will be an accountant. It doesn't matter.
I'm still in my room, right? Wow.
Or in Groningen, if you want to say. I know, it's chance. That's what I want. I think we are controlling a lot because now we have the possibility to control everything in our lives in a way. But going to Minerva, for example, and suddenly encountering you or you this is what I want. It's surprise or something.
You mean the chance that you want that life has still got surprises for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes you feel less lonely in a way. It makes you feel like there is elements that are gonna come and your task is to deal with.
Be open to them. Yeah, accept them.
It's beautiful.
But I don't know.
I have the same, like that I don't want to know what my life will be.
Yeah.
I want it to surprise me. Something like that. Yeah.
It's
I don't want it. We don't want to have the pure controller. We don't want to make the 5-year, the 10-year plan and drive, and arrive there. You want to go down some side path and get a bit lost and find something beautiful.
Yeah, but it's fun because for a lot of people that's the dream, right? To have like this 5-year plan and actually hitting all the marks on the way.
goals.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fascinating.
Well, but
to
then
see.
you can also put it, like, I think it's even inside my planner that I get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like this place where I get lost, like I don't want to go directly. I don't want to know the way.
But don't you feel like at some point you want some confirmation about something or something? Like suddenly you start to grow old and old and old, and suddenly you are like 70, and you're still feeling like you're 5, and like you're a baby. Or do you guys have it, or not?
Well, I'm not 70 yet. I know what you mean. Yes,
It's the oldest of the room.
Please, they can solve that for us.
Bless.
I don't know, somehow I like being older. Like, why do I like when you're older, I guess like more and more experiences make it easier to take a little bit distance from yourself, you know, so the pain or the joy or anything that's going on, you learn just to step back a little bit from it, that you are not that thing, you are not your pain, you are not your joy, you're nothing of those. And it's happened so many times in your life that for me it's a bit easier just to step back and say, oh, this is happening again. I'm not going to, you know, suffer or go into it totally. So it just gives me a little bit more distance. And then somehow there's things happen in my life that do affirm that life is an adventure. And that's really nice to feel. Yeah. And sometimes it's just, you know, talking with someone or hearing, even sometimes it's just a smell, you know, it can be anything. But if you have got the right frame of mind to accept it and feel it, then that's enough to keep you going or to want to participate.
But if you have the pain and you feel a bit distant from it now, do you also have the same with joy? Or you don't fully get it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have the tendency to go into both quite strongly, but maybe it's just a little bit easier to come out, you know, or to not get carried away with it. Like, I don't say I'm free of all suffering and, you know, that I don't, but I think I've got more tools to make that distance, yeah. And yeah, this thing of navigating, like what we were talking about, you know, like trusting yourself, I think that's, like slowly I'm learning more and more that. And I think in that sense, this pandemic, we've all been forced back to ourselves. So these last weeks, everyone has to make their own decisions. Like, do I touch you? Do we share a cup? You know, all of these little things. The state's not really telling us what to do. And a lot of people are confused because, they don't know what to do. And we're not used to thinking for ourselves. We're used to our health, the doctors look after it, our education, the state looks after it. But actually, everyone has some more autonomy than we realise, and we have all of this inside our own hands. You know, my health, I can look after that with or without a healthcare system. You know, like that's largely in your own hands, and your education. It's not that you need to go and do a master's. You know, you need to know what skills you would like to learn, what you think, and you can find that there or maybe somewhere else. But I think it's really good that this is maybe making individuals take their own responsibility. Because, and you were talking of freedom as well, like this, you know, as a sovereign or as a ruler, you've got a lot of freedom and you can do a lot of things, but you also have a lot of responsibility if you're doing it well. And now I think we individually can feel that, you know, like it's in your hands to, all of it,
Maybe that relates also to the fear. A lot of people fear. I mean, of course, there's a lot of fear around, the corona thing, but I think a lot of the fear, it also comes from this responsibility that came with it, with being with yourself, having to, like, make the decisions for yourself, or, I don't know, educate your kids at the moment, or you know, like, reconnect with people or not.
Yeah, and that's also interesting, they're not, like, the things that have fallen away, like relationships that sort of haven't existed during this period, and things you haven't done and haven't really missed, you know. Yeah, it's really interesting what has fallen away.
That's also a bit scary, because maybe, for instance, do you also have kids? You? suddenly you have a kid. And it's not only you. Because with you, you can do whatever. Okay?
Yeah.
But now you have a baby. And you look at the baby and who are you? You are like a version of me. What do I do with you? Or at least, I don't know how it is for you, but I imagine if I was a mom, I would be like, I love you, but what do I do with you? And I feel like I would be also like apologizing constantly for giving her a path or something.
Yes,
right?
yes, that's I think the hardest part of like, of course something comes from you, but it's not you, and like it's very hard to make this distinction of I have to let you be your own person, and like where is the line of helping or not?
Yeah.
You know, like okay, for example, I do protect you if you're in danger. But sometimes falling down, for example, can be good because you learn that when I do that, I fall. So it's always like this, for me at least, like this weight, like, okay, how much I have to be in control and how much I need to learn because it's something you don't know, but you learn to let go. Like, because as you say, your first kind of intuition is like, okay, this is me, I have to take care of it.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think like on the way, a lot of it is like, okay, but it's also its own self, right? As I am my own self. So how much space do I also give and how much do I influence the path someone takes? Because like from what we were already telling right now, for example, if you force someone to eat, they never learn to hear to their own intuition. If you put their shoes on their whole life, they never learn to put their shoes. Like, of course, I'm simplifying, but you get the point. So, like, I think that's quite hard also, like, to let go, like, not take responsibility for what happens to another person to some degree.
Especially when you know that she's gonna fall.
Yes, and that she needs to fall.
Exactly. So it's like a constant waiting, like a scale, like, okay, is it safe? Not? How much do I want to take over? How much do I let go? And I think like, and it's not only with children, like, I mean, then you feel it a lot, but then I realize that it maybe also comes with people around us or situation around us. It's kind of the same, like how much do we always want to, you know?
To hug you.
Yes, like to take it like close to us and just protect everything because it's kind of easy, but yeah.
Did the Insta just finish?
Yeah, because we did 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. That's next level.
Okay, maybe I should.
But I see this guitar here.
Actually, shall I go just to say bye? Also?
Yeah, or maybe we could just put it back on and you could do a song.
Oh my god, I was.
I agree.
Okay, I see. I think Facebook doesn't have any problem with.
But it's weird, it's weird to, like, normally we're used to conversations without. I mean, I don't think we had a huge audience. I think we had 3 or 4 people on Instagram.
16 viewers.
People we knew. But like normally you don't have this conversation publicly. Do you know what I mean? Normally this is just me and you at a party maybe or something.
Yeah, it's like these guys are looking at that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and now we're doing it publicly. Yeah, so that's also a big move.
So we're.
Do you
Yes,
feel like
we're live again to say goodbye with a nice song from Amaya.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I'm not really used to it.
So, Amaya, would you love to share a song with us also? Because we saw you brought your guitar. If you want, right?
Yeah, I brought it because I will.
Yay.
Okay. So, everyone's song.
You wrote it?
No, I mean, no, not yet. This is a song from a friend. She's from Chile. And she is beautiful because she wrote this, a lot of songs, within the protest. So all of them are about the protest, but they are like metaphorically about the protest. She makes like folkloric music or something.
Oh wow.
And in 18th of October, when everything started, I would only listen to her. I've been asking really miserable, looking at how the militaries were killing my people, feeling really angry at them, also feeling really angry at Holland, like you don't understand anything. Like this vibe. Like I tell them, hey, there's a protest in Chile, and they will go like, oh, Pinti.
I'm sorry, yeah.
And I will be like,
Yeah.
I wanna take you there, put you in the square, and then see what you can do about it. Pinti.
But is that also like a documentary a bit? Like this need to really solve what's happening there?
What?
Or you were doing that from before? Like you said you're making a documentary also about the situation.
Ah, yeah, it starts from there.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed there, and my friend Tommy,
Yes.
he's been helping a lot, so it also has views from him. But it didn't start from before, only when I went.
Yeah. So it comes like from the need to share what's happening there with the rest of the.
I think it's super important.
Yeah.
That in particular in Holland,
Mm-hmm.
people see, but not only Chile, Chile is one. There's Venezuela, there's
Yes,
Cuba,
yes.
Iran, Hong Kong,
All over.
all over. And I think people need to know, because
Mhm.
also, I said before in the beginning that I really like Holland because it felt like it was fake.
Mm.
I also dislike that at the same time.
Yes.
Sometimes it's really scary. Like you go to the lake and you see like the image of a painting by Cézanne or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's,
Everything man-made and preserved and clean. Yes.
the clouds sometimes feel like 3D model or something.
Yeah.
Really scary.
Uh,
So, and there's no chance for this. If I say I want to burn down the Sahara, whatever, I'm sorry, it's like I don't know, I'm gonna get caught or something. This metaphorical, okay?
Yes.
If I say this in Chile, this will be like alright,
yeah.
or at least I don't agree, but whatever we
Mhm.
conversate. In here it's like yo,
Crazy.
yo, and I think it's important to relativize that. This is why I'm doing it. And the song, yeah, the song is not about this, also about this, but it's like, yeah, it's just a metaphor by my friend. Ando un corazón perdido, arrastrado por la luna, grita en la laguna, regadera de sol y calle. Animita, quiero iluminar donde no llegan las estrellas, ayudan a lanzar el vuelo, arriba la mar, no la mano. Una cocina berante, ser una sola certeza, que el hambre me cala hasta el reflejo. Dime luna que el misterio de la nochecita es tan grande que alcanzará para iluminar todos los ojos tristes. Nochecita estrellada, dime si acaso este pecho es más que tu reflejo, y para bien solo de lejos. Una cocina berante, ser una sola certeza, que el hambre me cala hasta el reflejo. Dime luna que el misterio de la nochecita es tan grande que alcanzará para iluminar todos los ojos tristes. Todos los ojos tristes.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you. That was beautiful.
That's like when you said that someone's eyes changed and it's coming from somewhere else.
Whoa.
Like you go down an octave
Yes.
with your voice and you're someone else then.
Whoa.
Yeah, beautiful. You sound like a really old woman.
Yes,
really.
right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
I have to
emotional.
think of Violeta Parra.
¿Cómo?
Violeta Parra.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna read a song from her.
Oh, yeah.
Actually. I don't remember.
But you have more beautiful voice than her. But you have same deep voice like her, but maybe same sort of
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You imagine that it was her?
A little,
That's it.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she did okay, I'm gonna
And
intervene. I'm gonna intervene.
Felt like someone a lot older.
Wow. Like someone older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
It was beautiful.
yes,
Yeah. Thank
yes,
you.
really. Thank you for being here also today.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody.
So glad you came. So glad you played.
I'm gonna
Bye,
close this.
thanks. Bye, Rissa.
Bye. Thank you for being
Thank you.
here.
Nice you came.